Yeah. We can actually move this. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's try and server. Yes, gonna take a chilled stream because we want to go trucking. Let's see. We first want to put a.
Do I ever? Your best bet is to head out to Bet Victor. They're giving new customers massive odds of 100 to 1 for him to bring it home. 100 to 1?
Radio,
100 to 1.
I guess.
Have you got your glasses on? You sure it's 100 to 1?
Yes, I'm sure.
Listen to Harry and
okay.
make your best bet with England to bring it home 100 to 1 at Bet Victor. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus gamblerware.org. Maximum bet £1. Minimum deposit £5. Winnings paid on free bets offer ends 3 p.m. on the 1st of July 2024.
Yeah.
Hey, you with the hands at 10 and 2. Ever felt that nudge that your motor might need a little TLC? When it's time to go under the hood, eBay's got you covered.
Okay, this one. 10. This has this one quickly. Let's go. Okay.
345 6060 973.
9:33 on LBC. It's our open house phoning. We do this every Friday night at 9 o'clock, where you can phone in on anything you like. Send me a text, WhatsApp message, Alexa message, email, whatever you like. John's in Dunfermline. Hello, John.
Hi, good evening. I didn't know you did this sort of phone-in.
Well, we've only started it when I started doing Friday nights again. I just thought it would be it was a bit of an experiment, but I think it's working.
Well, I've jumped on the chance to get something off my chest, and what I'd like to explain to you is why I think the Tories are using the innocent till guilty defence as a complete cop-out from making difficult decisions and doing the right thing. And it was triggered by last night Rishi Sunak telling us how angry he is about the gambling allegations. It reminded me of how angry Boris Johnson was when he heard there were parties. When they tell you how angry they are, and then you ask them, well, are you going to suspend the candidate? Oh no, you've got this innocent until guilty. Now that's a very attractive, proposition. It's something like natural justice, but what they're failing to acknowledge, and I think disingenuously, is not everyone gets the privilege of that it doesn't apply to every situation. I worked in healthcare, and politicians and nurses and doctors, they got people's lives and livelihoods in their hands. And the price they paid for that is thousands of public
What a moron.
But then you look also on the other side of the aisle, Labour isn't perfect in this either. You had Nick Brown, former Chief Whip, being suspended for, I think, was it a year and 3 months? Nobody knew even what the sort of charges were. We still don't. And then when he announces that he's going to stand down from Parliament, suddenly it's all okay, and we still don't know what was behind that. So that I think every party has questions to answer.
Yeah, I think clearly can reflect that that's the opposite extreme, isn't it? And yeah, but
Skinny's not driving a line.
quick to suspend, but you're right in some cases. I don't know the motivations. It drags on forever in the long grass.
So crazy.
Anyway, John, thank you very much. Some interesting points. Let's go to Pat in Oxford. Sorry, hello, Pat. now accepted that he did do that and apologised for it, and he's been sacked with no notice to earn him never be able to work in the police force again.
Yes, no, I think this is the correct approach. What I'm phoning in about is Boris Johnson. I don't like to keep going back to this sort of subject, but he's a serial psychopath, in my opinion. He's been proven on many occasions to lie directly to the public and to the House of Commons, and anybody can get away with lying too.
I think we are entering Belgium now.
In case you've missed it, he's no longer an MP.
Okay, but he's still a Conservative and he's still part of the party, isn't he? There doesn't seem to be any consequences these days, and I think that's what's wrong.
How can you possibly say that? You've accused him of lying. He was found guilty by the Select Committee, suspended from Parliament for 90 days. He then quit as an MP. He's no longer an elected representative, so representative. He holds no public office, and you want him under water, basically.
Well, I'd like to see that, but I mean, obviously, I mean, to be fair, I would like to go back to the old days where they stick the heads on sticks in Parliament Square, because what that would do, it would teach other MPs coming up through the ranks that they just cannot get away with telling it and getting away with it, which they all seem to do. There's no consequences. That is my point.
Just
Moron.
consequences. If you lie and you're found guilty by a committee of the House of Commons, you get a suspension, you can be chucked out of Parliament, there can be a recall petition in your constituency. Of course there are consequences.
Yes, I don't understand people.
Well, they don't seem to happen very quickly and very readily, do they, really? That's my point, I think.
Well, in this Parliament, I think I'm right in saying there have been 3 recall
What's wrong with the
petitions. Now, I think that actually is quite a lot. And the MPs concerned have suffered the consequences.
So what's happening about these people that have betted on the election then? Why aren't they out on their ear now, immediately?
Because everyone deserves proper justice. I mean, look, on the face of it, I agree with you. I mean, we know that one of them has admitted betting because he's done interviews about it and apologised for it. The second one, which came out, I think, on Tuesday, she hasn't admitted that she's done it. And yet, by your way of doing things, just because there's an accusation, she needs to be thrown to the wolves. Now, I can't, given that her husband, then it turned out to be, was the director of campaigning, we can all draw
I think this looks laggy, maybe.
Been told about it. So on the face of it, doesn't look good for either of them.
Well, okay. If we could have some sort of compromise, if we could have a compromise where if you go down all the channels that we're saying that we need to go through, I'm talking about MPs and governments now in particular, if they are found to have done something wrong, which in Boris Johnson's case he had done, right? Then
well, he continues to
be,
deny it.
but he should not be allowed to be in politics again for at least 20 years or something.
Let's
there
see.
must be consequences. But he can roll up and...
Well, I don't know how many more times I have to say this, but the
Party,
consequence was that he lost his job.
well,
He is
okay.
no longer Prime Minister. He's no longer an MP. I mean, I don't know if you think he should be in prison or not.
Is he still getting all his money though that he gets every year for being a prime minister?
All ex-prime ministers get some. I don't know whether it's called a salary or what, but yes, of course he is.
Yeah, but surely that should be taken off him. I mean, the policeman that got sacked today has lost his pension. Why should Boris Johnson have more money than anyone earns in a year normally for a life for bundling his way through
Has he lost his pension? Do you know that for a fact?
I don't know that for a fact.
Well, why did you say it then?
Well, I said it because I was listening to one of the news stations over here, and they did mention that he'd lost all I think they called it privileges, or I think it was put under that name, and I assume it was paid.
I mean,
But that's what normally happens.
he may have done. I've no idea. I'll check it in a moment.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please do.
Okay, Gary, thank you very much indeed. More of the calls to come on this open phone-in 0345 6060 973. It's 9:47.
Coming up at 10, Nick Abbott, leading Britain's conversation. Next on LBC.
At Kia, we're launching another electric SUV, the compact Kia EV3, with an extensive range and stunning design. Be one of the first to explore the dynamic EV3 at our exclusive electric experience, immersing yourself in its spacious, modern interior and advanced technology. Speak to our experts about the Kia EV3 and order yours at an event near you. Secure your exclusive place today. Search Kia Electric Experience. Take the lead. Drive electric.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Summer is here, and with Little Plus you can be super ready. Get an 18-pack of Corona for $13.99 and honey roasted peanuts from just 89p with Little Plus. Ah, time for a cold one. Download the Little Plus app and start saving
Oh,
today.
Soul.
GB only, subject to availability, ends 3rd of July, terms apply. You know what it's like when you
Trailers are
stroll in the
so
ground, see a delicious looking big treat
terrible.
and think, what is that? Well, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 can help, because Circle to Search with Google will help you find it. Oh, it's a tropical mango cruffin. Tasty.
Incredible AI. Now on more Galaxy devices than ever. Buy a Galaxy Z Fold 5 today to claim £200 cashback. Purchase by 2nd of July from participating retailers. Claim from Samsung.com within 45 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
The fans today were absolutely buzzing with excitement. Yeah, proper quality everywhere you look, from the 3 layers of delicious beef right down to the bone. Seeing a burger like that really makes you want to get stuck in.
There really is nothing like the new Hat-Trick Burger from McDonald's. A triple stack burger with cheese and grilled onions. From 11 a.m. until the 16th of July. Participating restaurants only, subject to availability.
If you're a gold buyer, you know you're safe with Goldbank.
At Goldbank, safe is in our DNA.
Feel safe in the knowledge that our unique fine scan technology ensures our highest authenticity in the gold we produce.
Feel safe that your gold comes certified with a unique identifying serial number.
And feel safe that Goldbank's 30 years of experience means you can trust us in the recommendations we make.
Visit goldbank.co.uk.
Leading Britain's conversation. Ian Dale, Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Yeah. This one's done.
It's 10 to 10 on LBC. I've read a
Okay.
couple of articles
More
about
money in the bank.
Chief Constable Nick Adderley, who was sacked today. None of them mention his pension, so I don't know if anyone can throw any light on that. If you want to, do give us a call or text 84850. Bob is in Harrow. Hello, Bob.
Good evening. I'm just reading the statement from Sam Dobbs, who is the chair of the Police Federation, and you're right, so there's nothing about the pension of the former Constable Nick Adderley.
Take a look on motive.
States that although they have lost a
That
police
should be
officer,
pretty
the standard
intense.
that the police are held to must be upheld, and it was the right decision.
Take
It
it
was a
from
very painful
Zurich
decision
to
that Sam
Geneva.
Dobbs, he sat through the whole hearing. He was only one of 3 serving officers to do so.
That's
But
going to
from
be
myself,
quite a
from
heavy
my
load.
point of view, and from somebody who has served in the army,
Let's see.
and I've served
Yeah,
under
that's
people who have
massive.
fought and who were injured in the Falklands War. This caused a tremendous amount of pain, upset and anguish, and the decision that the panel came to was absolutely correct decision. But it was the temerity of Mr. Adderley to continue with his falsehood throughout his career until he reached the rank of Chief Constable. And all I can say on this is that the men that I have served with, who were Falklands veterans, suffered terribly, and many could not adjust to civilian life, and many did commit crimes and were incarcerated. So we lost loved ones, we lost limbs, and ultimately some lost their liberty. And for a police officer to take their valour in this way is very painful, and it's a very difficult decision. And I just spoke to a friend who is on exercise this weekend, and the men and women who will be serving in the armed forces this weekend, I think a decision is a good decision for them, and they will be able to have the pride and the dignity to carry on serving the king as they many have served. So I can't answer the question of the pension, but I think I don't know. Perhaps this may be the consideration that this fellow should have, but Mr. Adler, that he will lose a portion of pension. All I can say is that when Lord Profumo committed his transgressions, he was honest enough and open enough to go down to Tonga Hill with a broom and sweep clean, and in many, many years he became a rehabilitated man. I can only look for everybody in this thoroughly miserable case that maybe Mr. Adler will find a way somehow to rehabilitate himself. That's all I can say on that point, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's go on to Michael in Bates Park. Hello,
I'm just calling in on the topic that you had the first hour on whether Corbyn or Boris Johnson would have been the best Prime Minister, and I'm absolutely astounded that anyone would phone in and say Jeremy Corbyn would have made the better Prime Minister, because as we know, the shadow government during Jeremy Corbyn's leadership of the Labour Party was mired in anti-Semitism, and we saw what happened in Germany with socialist governments mired in anti-Semitism during the 1930s, and it didn't end well. And get up with what's happening. Keir Starmer, of course, played a leading role in Corbyn's shadow cabinet, and as the saying goes, all it takes for evil to triumph, for good men to do nothing. Starmer continued serving in that shadow
Yes, he
cabinet.
did. He would argue that he stood up to Jeremy Corbyn on the anti-Semitism issue, and it was better for him to be in the shadow cabinet than outside it, so he can still do it.
Personally, Ian, I don't see how he could have stayed in that shadow cabinet. Jewish Labour MPs were leaving the Labour Party and being pushed out by anti-Semitic forces, and I think it goes to Starmer's character, quite frankly, because we know that he took over the Labour Party on a platform that was quite left-wing, promising to nationalise various industries and things like that. He's U-turned on a number of policies, and now Britain appears to be on the brink of electing a Prime Minister, and they clearly don't know much about what he's going to do, and I find that incredibly scary. I think it's the trend to, when people don't know much about politicians, they assume that they're moderates and centrist. Truth is, we really don't know much about what Starmer is about to do.
Well, then that is the fault of the Conservative Party for not exposing it, and the fault of the media for not asking the right questions then.
I absolutely agree, and this is not to say that the Conservative Party has covered itself in glory over the past 14 years, and I think it's a very thankful thing to say that Starmer is potentially about to win the election upon how badly the Conservative Party has done and how good Labour Party's platform is. But I think that's a very sad state of affairs.
Okay. All right, Michael, thank you very much. Joe in Norwich. Joe, you want to talk about this Chief Constable in Northamptonshire?
A few months ago, there was a bit of an uproar about one cousins in Carrick keeping their pensions, because it contributed to years. Even if you some the others pension, even though it's not contributory, when the payment review board was passed, essentially anti-salvage, they deduct that because it has to take into account that you have a non-contributory pension. So they can't take it off you.
But there have been examples where people have had their pensions taken off them. I'm trying to think of them, but I know there haven't been. So it does seem a little bit arbitrary, doesn't it?
Well, both cousins
thousands of GPs who can't get work because of government rules, while people wait months for an appointment because there aren't enough GPs. And Keir Starmer says that he once campaigned for Jeremy Corbyn, said Jeremy Corbyn would have been a better Prime Minister than Boris Johnson, which upset Boris Johnson so much that he dashed off a column about it, reminding us of how right Keir Starmer was. That will come up with me, the Cap Path News at 10 on LBC.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 10 o'clock, an NHS helpline is being created after patients' blood test data was leaked online. The health service is warning people who've been to hospital in London to be vigilant after the group behind a cyber attack began sharing some personal data. The computer security expert, Professor Alan Woodward, has told LBC the hack will be keeping engineers very busy.
They have to build the system again, restore the system from that misfortune of a PC failure. You have to rebuild that, and that takes imagine doing so much quicker computing power. The other thing they have to be sure of is that in rebuilding those systems, the malicious software hasn't somehow managed to persist.
The IDF says there's currently no indication it was involved in the deaths of 25 people in Gaza today. It's begun a review after health officials and rescuers in the territory said the group died following an Israeli strike on tent camps near Rafah. It's also claiming 50 people were wounded. Lancashire Police has offered to support its Spanish colleagues in the search for a British teenager on Tenerife. The force has released a statement this evening, as LBC's Tom Harrigan reports.
Jay Slater, who's 19, went to Tenerife for a music festival. On his way back to his accommodation, he missed his bus and rang a friend to tell them he'd try to walk. That was on Monday, and he hasn't been seen since. Helicopters, rescue dogs and drones have been used to try to find him, and detectives in Lancashire have now offered extra resources to their Spanish counterparts, although they say they have all they need for the time being.
Two women have been charged after private jets at Stansted Airport were sprayed with orange paint. Just Stop Oil protesters are accused of criminal damage, aggravated trespass and interfering with national infrastructure. A woman in her 40s has died in the Isle of Wight festival. Police were sent to reports of a sudden death at the campsite in Newport yesterday morning. The death is not being treated as suspicious. And in sport, this evening's match between France and the Netherlands has ended in a goalless draw at Euro 2024. Earlier today, Ukraine improved their chances of reaching the last 16 with a 2-1 win against Slovakia. In the city, the FTSE 100 closed down 35 points at 82.38. The pound will buy $1.26 and €1.18. LBC weather: rain will move eastwards overnight, becoming increasingly sporadic. There'll be clear spells in the west, and we'll see a low of 11 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Tim Daly.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's
Yeah,
conversation.
discovered Geneva. And it seems like we are the truck. Yeah.
Just Stop Oil protesters have been accused of criminal damage and may go to jail. Fossil fuel magnates have not been accused of criminal damage and will not go to jail. They will go to the House of Lords. Extreme weather continues to ravage parts of southern Europe with an excessive heat warning in place in Greece. A flood hit Mallorca. Deadly wildfires are ripping through Turkish villages, and Italy is experiencing a heat wave combined with dry conditions that are the ideal circumstances for wildfires in areas like Sardinia and Sicily. Wherever they are. Scientists say climate change is set to fuel more fires and other disasters unless measures are taken to tackle the problem. But as these are just experts in possession of facts, no one is remotely interested in anything they have to say. It's just weather, said people. Nothing but are weirdly angry that anyone should suggest that being fast about the pollution we pump out as a species could have any effect on the planet that we live on. Seems like common sense to me, but there's nothing common about it. Meanwhile, in this country, a heat wave is set to scorch the UK next week, with temperatures set to reach nearly 29 degrees centigrade within the next few days. And it's all thanks to global warming.
Thank you.
After an absolutely abysmal spring and summer so far, temperatures are set to be cranked up as hot weather travelling across Europe reaches these shores.
What?
Wait a minute. Hot weather travelling across Europe. We're going to be breathing second-hand European air. Air that's been in and out of a French person.
Disgusting.
Met Office forecaster Neil said fine conditions will return by Sunday. And into next week, for much of the UK, this will be accompanied by a boost in temperatures, with many places reaching the mid-20 degrees centigrade in the middle of next week. Not everywhere, though. I bet there'll be somewhere in the northwest, for instance, that will be somewhat worse than that. I can check on that while you wait, but don't really see the point. Aha. Well, in a change to your normal schedule, it might be raining at the moment. Please don't call me from Glasgow and tell me, because it is. It will not, however, be raining on Saturday or Sunday or Monday. Can you believe that?
No.
It will, though, be raining on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and... not raining on Monday the 1st of July. Rubbish. Tuesday, normal services resumed, and it will continue to rain every day for the rest of your lives. Oh, well, never mind. So, no heat wave in Glasgow, but, you know, Glaswegians wouldn't have anything to wear in a heat wave, so that's probably for the best. And what is a heat wave when it is at home, I hear you ask? Well, fact fans, a heat wave is a prolonged period of abnormally high temperatures relative to the expected conditions at that given time and lasting for 3 or more consecutive days. And we are about to have a heat wave. Can you believe that?
No.
The Mail says the warmer weather will likely see large numbers of people head to the UK's coastal areas to make the most of the conditions. Warning. For those looking to take a dip into the sea to cool off in the heat, the Royal National Lifeboat Institute... You know the Royal National Lifeboat Institute, don't you? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. They warned about the risk of cold water shock and
right. There's no traffic because it's multiplayer. And I can't park this massive freaking locomotive trailer yet.
Do not go into the sea without a hazmat
What?
suit and an ambulance on standby.
Okay. Well,
that's just good advice, isn't it?
Yes.
Samantha Hughes,
if they
National
accept it,
Water Safety
I'll
Partner
accept it.
at the Royal National Lifeboat Institute, said, if you're planning on heading to the beach, we highly recommend you visit one that is life-guarded and you swim between the red and the yellow flags. This is the safest area
turn it up a
and is
bit.
most closely monitored by
So,
lifeguards.
it's on Truckers MP, so basically,
National Lifeboat Institute. The safety area is not to swim between the red and the yellow
there's
flags.
no
Most
cars
closely
or
monitored
anything
by
like that, but
lifeguards.
it's
The
actual
safest area
other
is in the
drivers.
bar
There's
on
about
the seafront,
2,300 other trucks on the server,
Would you like
but
to hear the long-range
obviously
forecast for the next 4 weeks?
it's quite a large open world,
Now
so
it's got better?
yeah.
Yes, I would like to hear that.
You see all those blue dots now.
Okay, first, it's the last week in June and the first week in July. Oh,
Okay.
blimey, it's almost July already. We've gone past the longest day. It's practically Jesus' birthday. Last week in June, first week in July. Fine and settled at first. And much
Oh,
warmer
like
than
that.
in recent weeks, but not in the northwest, though. Never in the northwest. Then, after
Okay,
a
what do we
brief
have
spell
here,
of what you
actually?
could call summer, it's back to
Jeez.
showers or longer periods of rain and potentially
Okay.
thunder, lightning, very, very frightening. And then the middle 2 weeks in July.
Hey, big,
Some
and
spells
it
of dry
ghosts in, yeah, but
with showers
yeah,
or longer spells of rain.
doesn't prevent you from getting the fright of your life.
Dry in the south and temperatures slightly more likely than normal to be above average. Drier in the south and temperatures slightly more likely than normal to be above average. We'll take it. Sue emails, when I heard the allegations that Tory candidates had placed bets on the date of the general election, I couldn't even be bothered to put myself to the trouble of batting.
Where are all these like?
She's like, did you engage in an
Right.
eye roll, Sue? How about a tut? Or an expellation of air?
Yeah.
Like that.
Into the busy streets we go.
I mean, talk about weak. It emerged that there was an extraordinary spike in bets on a July election the day before Fishy Sunak announced the news. You know, Fishy Sunak out of...
This government.
Yeah. You remember that Fishy said that he was looking at an autumn election, and then he suddenly wasn't? Well, analysis of figures from Betfair, the world's largest online betting exchange, showed almost £3,000 was gambled in just a few hours on May the 21st.
Oh, fabulous.
£3,000. I mean, it's all so pathetically small beer, isn't it? I mean, to have insider knowledge of an event happening and then only betting 100 quid or so on it, I mean...
Look at this now.
It's not less illegal if you don't bet a lot. So why would you risk everything for what is basically spare for these people?
He's like driving like absolute chops.
Information all the time. Inside information is the lifeblood of the hedge fund and the banking brackets. Our geniuses, they've just got better contacts than we do. And they bet hundreds of millions of pounds. They don't put 100 quid on some event happening that they've had a tip on. Because what's the point? It's all so comically stupid. And when he was asked about this on that Question Time show, Fishy Sunak said he is incredibly angry that the gambling watchdog is investigating several senior conservatives. Yeah. And I wonder if he's incredibly angry that the gambling watchdog is investigating several senior conservatives, or he's incredibly angry that several senior conservatives have perhaps done something that is worthy of investigation by the gambling watchdog. Select. And he put on his hurt little puppy dog eyes, and he looked like he was going to burst into tears at one point. When the party's director of campaigning, Tony Lee, took a leave of absence yesterday, with he and his Tory candidate wife, Laura Saunders, both under investigation. And Mr. Sunak's close parliamentary aide, Craig Williams, is also being investigated for betting £100 on the date, at odds of 5 to 1. Earlier this week, one of the PM's police protection officers was arrested over betting claims, and a gambling industry insider told Sky News that there would be more names coming out.
People getting banned by the looks of it.
Tory leader Sir Ian middle name Smith branded those involved as stupid and venal. And Michael Gove said the situation doesn't look great for the Conservatives, adding
a major capital letters, big news story.
And Tim Montgomery, founder of grassroots website Conservative Home, said Conservative members and activists are shell-shocked. Really? Let's do a straw poll, shall we? Hands up who is shell-shocked at these developments. Now, hands up who isn't. Well, that's overwhelming. The use of confidential information to gain unfair advantage when betting may constitute a criminal offence of cheating under the Section 42 of the Gambling Act. Those convicted face an unlimited fine or up to 2 years in jail. Of course, if they do it on a massive scale, as part of a hedge fund operation, then they will not go to jail. They will instead go to the House of Lords, assuming they donate just enough of their winnings to the right political parties. But they'll have to give considerably more than they'd win on a £100 bet on odds of 5 to 1. I mean, just pathetic. Speaking of which, the England football team.
Affirmative.
There's about 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back. I'm not sure I want to watch it anymore. I might just swerve the live game and just watch the highlights. The highlights. Yeah, assuming that there are any. God, that was awful. What is it about England players who, throughout the course of their season in the Premier League, do excellent work? And then they put on the England shirt, and it's almost like the England shirt is made of lead. It just weighs them down. Go on, pass back to the goalkeeper again. I double dare you. Anyway. It's coming out. No, it isn't. Darren says we're past the summer solstice and the nights are drawing in. Oh, come off it. Drawing in? give us a couple of months before you come out with a phrase like that. And it gets worse. Darryl says we're past summer solstice, and as the nights are drawing in, as we head towards another winter. Never mind, there's always summer 2025. P.S. Good luck with the callers tonight. It's a full moon. Oh, Lord. Is it? That seems to come around every month. What's that? Somebody should definitely look into that. 0345 6060 973. Windsor, Zach.
Hi, Nick.
Yes, yes, I'm here. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Oh, it's so great to talk to you, mate.
Okay. That's super. What would you like to say?
So, I just wanted to talk about... So, firstly, I was just reading your book, actually, a bit late to the game, of course.
Which one?
The A2Z 2023.
Right. Keeping up with all the latest news, yes.
Yes, latest, of course. Honestly, this election campaign is just...
Oh, it's just going on and on and on.
I know.
Just imagine what it must be like for Americans, though, because their election campaign goes on for years. I mean, literally years it goes on for.
I know, and, if Joe Biden doesn't, of course, pass away during this campaign, but,
I don't think the campaign will stop if Joe Biden passes away. I don't think Donald Trump will be immediately elected president, even if he can be more presidential than anybody.
I can be more presidential than anybody.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, did you register to vote? Zach, did you register to vote?
No, I'm actually 14.
You're 14 years old. That's no excuse. You could have registered in it. You could have voted a couple of times. 3, maybe, tops.
Yes. I have actually registered to vote, Nick.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, well, make sure you do it on the day, all right?
Yeah.
But do it at least 3 times. Promise me you'll do that.
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @lbc. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC.
Cruise charming streets, find empty beaches, and discover the countryside's hidden gems. Summer's out there. Rent a car with Enterprise and unlock it for less. Prepay and save 10% on your Enterprise rental this summer. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
The fans today were absolutely buzzing with excitement. Yeah, proper quality everywhere you look, from the 3 layers of delicious beef right down to the bone. Seeing a burger like that really makes you want to get stuck in.
There really is nothing like the new Hattrick Burger from McDonald's. A triple stack burger with cheese and grilled onions. From 11 a.m. until the 16th of July, participating restaurants only, subject to availability.
Friendly, professional. That's Happy Trades, Alwood's trusted trader with over 3,000 glowing reviews on Checkatrade. See for yourself. Whatever the drainage emergency, trust Happy Trades to put it right fast. So when you've got a blockage or need a repair, just think happy thoughts. Click happytrades.co.uk.
Granny and Grandpa had their hearts set on getting Jess a drum kit for her birthday. And because they put it on their Barclay card, they were rewarded too. It was music to their ears. Same can't be said for Mum and Dad.
Oh, glad we out of that traffic mess.
Here's ours. Search Barclay card to find out more
Some
about our
crazy
cards.
ads.
Barclay card. Make money work for you. 28.9% APR representative variable. Subject to application, financial circumstances, and borrowing history. T's and C's apply.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet @LBC. Text 84850.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Yeah, mostly it's a failure to communicate. Mina says, bonsoir, Monsieur Abbott. Weather is still... yeah, it's not bad. It almost feels like summer outside. Tristan says, they say money doesn't bring you happiness. That's what I was saying just before the new news. He says, I've never seen anyone miserable on a jet ski. You can hire a jet ski for 150 quid a day. I just looked it up. What are you talking about? And I couldn't think of anything more boring than a jet ski. Because, first of all, it must be incredibly uncomfortable. You go fast on a Kent, hello, Tony.
Hi, Nicky. No, I mean, hi, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you can read my mind a little bit because I listen to this show. It's very informative. It definitely is. And I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Anyway, yeah, you mentioned the duo. I was going to ask you, are you enjoying the?
No.
Me neither. Why does this always happen? Like, you know, we get it looks like the British government isn't already causing us enough stress. Like, we have tournament after tournament after tournament, and it always gets to the first game. You know, we went. I've got to be honest with you about this. We got 1-0 up. Everyone's going, yeah, it's so good, and then you see the same thing happening again. And it's on Sunday, and I knew you were coming up at 10 o'clock. I didn't even watch the second half for the Serbia game. I managed to stay awake yesterday for the whole game at 7 p.m. Can you believe that? What's that always happen? And Southgate, I'm not going to sign anything anyway. It's very defensive. We need someone else up the top, I think. Like,
Well, we're going to get somebody. Well, we'll get somebody after this tournament.
I'm going to start from Wenger. I saw him with David D.
Yeah, no chance.
No.
Arsene Wenger? No, I don't think so.
No, I'd like it to be. Or Eddie Howe. Anyway, yes, so.
He would be good, but I don't think he would take a poison chalice. That is. I don't know what is it that comes over a player who is normally excellent, like week in, week out, and then they put on an England shirt, they just become a chump. I could have played better than most of the players of the well, maybe not, but in my dreams I could have.
Yeah, but it's like when, I remember, when Roy Hodgson got, and then I remember there was a big hoo-ha, I don't talk too much about it, but big hoo-ha that Harry Redknapp was in the frame, and I liked him. Everyone thinking Harry Redknapp, and then they chose Roy Hodgson. Come on! Jesus Christ. Anyway, God, yes. But so, like we're struggling with stress, you get to the third game, and we all intend to again, and literally, we might just scrape through. But
Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to watch the next match live. I just, there's other things to do, like staring out the window would be better. I've got to go. Unless there's something important that is...
This looks funny, man.
Right, now, on the news in the week, economic growth, so if anyone considering not going Labour, and, all these people keep saying, we don't know football, I'm really, Yes. Now, from 1995 to 2008, so you had a major fight, good old Tony Blair, for 10 years, economic growth, GDP per person, 49.6%. From 2008...
Wait. What is 49.6% of what? What do you mean?
Well, economic growth for GDP, so what each person is,
between the years of...
95 to 2008.
Okay. People's wages per head population.
Yeah.
Right. Now, is this taking into account inflation, or is it in real terms?
You're just confused. I don't understand about all that. Now, from 2008 to 2024, this sham of a year, and then we go last year, the year before that, economic growth, per person, the GDP, 4.3%. Now, that's just...
40-some% is a larger number than 4-some%. I think that is accurate.
No, that must be accurate, isn't it? I was shocked, so I think... I bet you were. I was shocked by how low it was.
I bet you weren't. All right, listen, Tony, I want you to keep me updated with any further statistics that become available to you, all right? Because noise and numbers, that's what this show's about.
And 1,
2,
2,
3,
6 million.
No. Andrew says, rest in peace, Donald Sutherland. He starred with Gene Wilder, Billy Whitelaw, and Victor Spinetti in the 1969 film Start the Revolution Without Me, which is one of the funniest films I have ever seen. I saw it at the cinema, but sadly it's never been shown on UK terrestrial TV. Huh. Why is that? I had to go and pay for It's a Mad, 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 Mad World over the Christmas period, because that hadn't been shown for as long as I can remember either, and that is hilarious, that. And yet we've got no end of rubbish. God, if another Spider-Man film comes comes on TV, I am going to scream. Chris says, if Sunak is referring to himself as OG, does that mean oversized gnome?
Oversized gnome.
No, it doesn't. Martin says, I don't like comedy clubs as I take no pleasure from watching an unfunny, struggling stand-up comedian dying on stage. Having said that, I get pleasure from watching the Prime Minister and Penny Hairspray scrolling live on TV. The pleasure I get is immeasurable. I can't
We'll treat that robot like a South African taxi.
I am looking forward to the 5th of July so much. I can't wait. I already have my plan of action. I'm going to stay up all night. I'm going to sit
this one too.
From about 3 a.m. then wake up the next day and watch it as live. Because why ruin your health for some strung out pleasure? Because the results aren't going to come at once, and so if you start watching it first thing in the morning, then you can zip through the bits that are all them, just nattering away, and then you can stop and slow-mo the part when smoke's on screen, for instance.
Skip this one too.
It can't come fast enough. 0345 6060 973.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn right to trigger that question marks. I'm going to circle back.
Do you not remember during COVID when that bloke got arrested for just being name out to the Isle of Man to escape?
What's the next one and then the net?
Hang on though. The actual trip, I bet, wasn't pleasant.
Hey, dusty look here, so I don't know.
But not on the trip itself.
No, one of my ex-bosses was an international jet skier, and I got a girl, and it was comfortable. And
oh, seriously, yeah, because even a flat expanse of water isn't flat, and all of those bridges, you feel every single one of them. Like if you go on a speedboat, even on a lake, it's so desperately uncomfortable. It is the worst form of travel ever invented.
Yeah, I quite agree with you on that one. And then people actually gambling earlier on. Well, the gambling authorities ought to be having a look at fishing, because you've been able to £1,000 back to charity. They're not going to get better in more life as well, are they?
He is abysmal at this job. I mean, he really is. I mean, if I were him, I would have made a big deal about handing over the money in cash, not a bank transfer, nothing as soulless as that. We want cash wheelbarrow full of pound coins, something like that.
Oh, it's just about.
Yeah, he could have made something out of it and didn't.
It didn't.
But the one thing I rang us about, I mean, I was so annoyed today.
Yeah, we'll try.
The depths of depravity with political leaders with Johnson, and I thought he can only be on the way up from here.
Go in and see if we can turn this
Nigel Farage
big thing around.
endorsed Andrew Tate.
Yes. Yes, he did.
How bad can it get? What sort of lunatics do this?
An important voice to be heard, or
Zoom.
words to that effect, he said.
I'm a nutcase.
What is he talking about?
I mean, it's... And
then he goes...
headlines.
Russian propaganda talking points. I mean, it's just beyond belief.
And earlier in the week, one of his candidates actually endorsed Hitler by saying we should have expected a pact with Hitler as though Hitler was okay.
Nice people on both sides, the Second World War, that's what I heard.
But they must have actually sort of done some stuff, put some thought into this, because by saying that about Andrew Tate, which verses that he's already got is he going to lose? Probably not. But is he going to tap into the 18 to 25-year-old mark and get 2 or 3% of them? It'll be done on purpose because it's all cynical.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to, with trepidation, I'm looking forward to when the result in Clacton is announced as well. I want to see certain faces fall, that's for sure. Yeah, Mike, I've got to go, but thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @lbc. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10, Nick Abbott, LBC. It's 10:30, the news headlines with Tim Bailey.
It's been suggested an investigation into a cyber attack on an NHS
other
service
actors
could take
is
weeks.
causing a bit of
Helpline's now been set up as officials try to
weirdness,
verify
yeah.
whether patient stolen data has been published online. The Conservatives say they'll use their first 100 days in power to cut red tape for Britain's pubs, restaurants, and their musical Windrush. It's now committed to appointing a Windrush Commissioner after Sir Keir Starmer said justice for the Windrush community has taken far too long. Now, additionally, they offered to support their Spanish counterparts looking for a British teenager missing in Tenerife. 19-year-old Jay Slater disappeared on Monday. LBC weather, rain moving eastwards across the country
Next lady
overnight,
for a shave.
clear spells in the west with a low of 11 degrees.
This is LBC.
Next up, which markets might be affected by the election results?
Hi, this is Peter, an investor on eToro. I feel that housing and energy stocks could benefit.
Interesting, Peter. Let's hear another opinion.
Alice here, also on eToro. I think results are
see,
so predictable
Push
that
Tank,
most market
Dortmund
reactions will be priced
to
in.
Rotterdam.
Sounds lively on eToro. So download the eToro
Yeah,
app and join the
might as well
conversation
take it.
there.
Not investment advice. The value of your investments may go up or
Player
down.
Freddy
Your capital
has
is at
been
risk.
kicked.
Flying from Luton Airport. The Luton Airport Express
Hopefully,
takes you from
I
London
wasn't
St
kicked in
Pancras
his
to the
teeth.
terminal in as little as 32 minutes. From just £10. So let's go. Let's go for adventures with friends, sun and sea with the family, or a city escape somewhere romantic. There's no traffic and no stress. So pack your bags and let's go on the Luton Airport Express. Buy your tickets now at lutonairportexpress.co.uk.
If you've ever dreamed of camping under the stars in Morocco, of hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, or tasting your way through Vietnam, then Intrepid has the trip for you. Travel with like-minded adventurers on a small group tour and be guided by locals who know all the best spots. Where will you go next? For over 1,000 trips to more than 100 countries, visit intrepidtravel.com. Intrepid. Good trips only.
I'm not worried about that robot.
Joining Ripple could cut your energy bills every year for decades. Without the hassle of getting solar panels installed onto your home or business. Your own energy to wherever you live. Even if you move home. That's real climate action to be proud of. Join now to be part of our next wind farm. Welcome to Ripple. Ripple Energy.
Global Player, the official LBC app, is also the home to fantastic podcasts like The News Agents, Emily Maitlis, John Sopel, and Lewis Goodall, three of the UK's top journalists. Host the award-winning daily news podcast.
July 4th, this country is going to have a choice. It is all to play for, and Susie will see you on the ride of your life every day of the campaign.
Global Player, the official LBC app. Download it now for free.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
I am not one of your fans!
Ahmed emails, my friend who lives in Glasgow said it has not rained there for 3 days in a row. Can you confirm if this is true? As it seems like he's telling porkies to me. Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm just assuming that he's lying. Emma says, not only is it a full moon, it's a strawberry moon. I just had a wowzers moment and included a picture of a bright red moon. Blimey. That is a bright orange moon. Have you ever seen a moon that orange?
I haven't. I think it's filtered though.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, it's fake news. Boo, Emma. Assuming that it is. I don't know, that could be real, because I think we've got... don't we have Saharan dust coming over here? Because that's the sort of thing that will turn that moon orange. And Zara says, how is it your 14-year-old callers talk more sense than your old callers? I'm not being ageist, of course, I'm just saying this is who is being ageist? You are completely correct in every respect. The old geezers, when you put your ear to their head, this is the same. 0345 6060 973. Penge. Peter. Yes, good, thanks.
Before I was Mike Initial,
actually still being shocked by what the Conservatives are doing. I don't think it's shocked anymore.
I know. Wake up. It's later than you think.
Well, what I was just bringing up for it was, angry. Something very angry. Which is very angry.
Oh.
Do you know, is this not a standard letter in the Conservatives? Because I think Boris's words were word for word. Very angry.
Very, very angry, and no rules have been broken.
And if he does find out about any rules, I'm sure it wasn't even enough word for word, I was just standing there thinking, that could be Boris saying that. I'm very angry.
Very angry, and he followed the rules at all times.
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
He followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
Okay, that's a nice place to stop.
I wish he would tell us what this plan is, rather than just boasting about the results of his plan.
We have a plan.
Plan. And the plan is working. Yeah, it is, yeah. If the England football team had done particularly well, or just even averagely well, then it would have taken the eye off the rest of the embarrassment that is this once great nation. But unfortunately...
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cherry on the top with cream.
Crashed.
Thanks a lot.
Crashed.
6060 Rebecca says,
Crashing and there's no traffic. Oh, what's happening here?
Was my number one priority.
It's the country's number one priority. It's my number one priority, up and down the country, and that will be our focus.
Your number one priority should be to vote. And guess what? If you haven't registered yet, it's too late. Yes, you get nothing. You lose. I bet this makes it. In fact, I have detailed files on that. Oh, I'll find them. Yeah, there was this study a while ago that said something that I
On that side.
That's interesting, isn't it? No. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it said, but the number of people that had not registered to vote was absolutely astronomical. You wouldn't believe it. Huge. And the younger you are, the less likely you are to have registered to vote. Typical. Kids.
No.
See now, Merthyr Tydfil. Hello, Jeff. I am great, mate.
I've been through a terrible
right.
experience. Hastings, policemen up and they're asked questions. I had to spend the day in the Goose and Cuckoo to recover my soul. And you wouldn't believe it. I'd gone there to sort of proudly of the reform happening. And turned up in a wheelchair. And the others in Liverpool were asked those questions. And every time we were asked about the answer, they brought up Ukraine. And how the officers, the communist candidate, how NATO had allowed Putin the excuse to invade Ukraine. We're talking about that. So one was asked, should we leave the the European Court of Human Rights? And they said, well, what do you mean? One candidate said, what do you mean, European? It's something to do with Europe. I thought, this is true. It's true. And he said, and I quote, well, this Europe, we don't want anything to do with it because Europe was totally destroyed, jobs and everything else. So we reached
holding us back.
So the whole thing turned into some sort of surreal event, which I couldn't quite grasp because the reform candidate agreed with everything. He agreed with PR. The only person that didn't agree with PR was his sitting MP.
Well, yeah, ain't that always the way, though? No one
fact that he was his own man didn't show any of these traits of natural marriage, but was in fact more left than you'd ever think, right? So what the point I want to make you is don't assume that every reform candidate
thinks
is
alike.
you know, isn't that case? And what I want to say is that, you know, it's surreal. It was surreal. I had to recover from it today. And when I was over in the Goose and Coupe, I did notice they've got a tremendous folk festival coming up on July the 13th.
Oh, folk music. No thanks.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's a big no from me. And furthermore...
No
thanks. But I appreciate the offer. Thanks, Jeff. 0345 6060 973. Gone emails. Nick, I have invented a wind machine that is designed to blow away the air and replace it with email. Well, that sounds great. Great emails. I'm compiling a list of all the things that have got better over the last 14 years under Conservatives. It'll be ready for your show on the 5th of July. You'll have found one by the 5th of July. Looking forward to that. Adam says, can you explain how I would know if I'm on the left or the right? Now, does that mean, is that a misspelling of the word or? How would I know if I'm on the left or the right is a different question to how would I know if I'm on the left of the right? You're going to have to be more specific, Adam. And Adrian says, England playing football, B-O-R-E, is amazing. I virtually get the supermarket to myself. Yeah, everywhere was empty. Empty. And the place had emptied out for the pre-match build-up as well, which I skipped because it takes so much. But the match itself, I did sit. I was sat sitting there, expecting something better with each passing minute, and was cruelly disappointed. How can we be so bad with so much talent in our team? How can they fashion that? Tell me, please, I'm begging you. Are they just tired? I mean, I can understand that they'd be tired. I mean, super fit athletes, you can't just run them like tractors, like a Ferrari. You can't run a Ferrari like you would a tractor. Got to give it a bit of a rest and, oil it every now and again. So maybe they're just tired. But I would have thought that, putting the England shirt on would revivify even the most exhausted player, but apparently not. And also, they just seem to forget how to play football. Well, they certainly seem to forget how they play the football that they ordinarily entertain us with week after week after week. It's mystifying. Can it possibly be that the manager is telling them to play that boring? No, don't go forwards, just keep passing side to side, and in an emergency, go backwards. And go all the way back to the goalkeeper. And then there'll be an explosion of furious shouting from him, and then the process will repeat itself. God, it's so tedious. Al texts, the parties are all the same. Come on, Al. The parties are all the same. I can't believe that people are still saying this. Oh, there is one exception. Reform UK. Don't get me wrong, says Al. I disagree with almost everything they stand for, except perhaps the House of Lords and the voting system reform. They are, however, the only party actually using a bus as a battle bus rather than a coach. Good on Nigel for saying it as it is. Buses are buses, not coaches. Well, that's just true.
Cool tunnel.
Is he actually travelling? Or does he get on the coach for a photo op and then get off the coach and go and get driven here and there in a luxury limousine? Oh, I can only dream of travelling in a luxury limousine. Wouldn't that be marvellous? 0345 0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
Sunday with Lewis Goodall.
Keith, who's in Stoke Newington.
The electorate are being deceived by Keir Starmer's electoral campaign. He's blaming the Conservative Party for the current financial situation we're in. And the pandemic, the economic situation we're in, is an international economic situation.
Listen on your radio and on Global Player.
Approaching Rotterdam.
Sunday morning from 10 on LBC.
Orbital cosmic tomcattery.
Oculant credence chronology.
Operatic consonance trombonary.
I've got it.
Ocular comprehensive totalmography.
I haven't got it. What is it anyway?
Optical coherence tomography, an advanced eye health scan that can help spot sight conditions early. At Specsavers, we think it's so important we're providing it nationwide.
Optimus coherence.
That's a cool tunnel.
Not everyone can say it, but everyone can have it. Add it to your eye test for an additional charge.
Oh, done it doors. Don't be a fool.
Especially not in the blistering heat. Car full of kids on the way to the game and you're blocking the players' car park. But it's okay when you're with the AA. With more expert patrols in more places, we'll get you back on the road in no time. Join the UK's best breakdown service from £7 a month. Visit theaa.com. New customers only. 10% of customers pay £7 a month. T's and C's apply. Verify best and patrol numbers at theaa.com/best.
Checker Trade is so confident in the quality
Does that
of
go
the
on a
trades
bit to the second one just
they want
to...
to shout it from the rooftops and from the upstairs cupboard. And who better than Amir, an electrician from Croydon, to do it for them? Ready, Amir? Let's do this.
Only quality electricians like me get on checkertrade.com, and if you book through them, they'll guarantee our work up to £1,000.
Nice one, Amir. Let's do this.
Checkertrade.com.
Guaranteed for 12 months. Eligibility and T's and C's apply.
The fans today were absolutely buzzing with excitement. Yeah, proper quality everywhere you look, from the 3 layers of delicious beef right down to the bone. Seeing a burger like that really makes you want to get stuck in.
There really is nothing like the new Hattrick Burger from McDonald's. A triple stack burger with cheese and grilled onions. From 11 a.m. until the 16th of July. Participating restaurants only, subject to availability.
If you've ever dreamed of camping under the stars in Morocco, of hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, or tasting your way through Vietnam, then Intrepid has the trip for you. Travel with like-minded adventurers on a small group tour and be guided by locals who know all the best spots. Where will you go next? For over 1,000 trips to more than 100 countries, visit intrepidtravel.com. Intrepid. Good trips only.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
No, I don't. 0345 6060 973. Here's the person who sent us that fake picture of the moon. In Ipswich, it's Emma. Hello, Emma.
It's absolutely scandalous. Oh, I squealed. Oh, it's scandalous.
Why are you sending us fake pictures of the moon, Emma?
It's not fake news. There's no fake news. There's no fake news. Oh, I tell you, I told him off. I slapped his legs. I said, no, it's not. I am standing in the middle of a meadow.
The middle of a meadow? Well, that sounds a delight.
Yeah, I know. It does sound like a delight, but in the meantime, please say you're glamorous. The keeper is sending a fake picture. The 2 of my dogs have rolled in fox poo, and I think he needs to come and clean them. But honestly,
yeah, I'll pass on that message. I can't guarantee he'll be there within the hour, but I just stand exactly where you are, Emma, and wait for his arrival.
I will. Honestly, I swear to you, because I always know about the strawberry moons, and I haven't seen one like that for 5 years.
Well, it's it's a very remarkable fact that it was orange. And somebody has texted in, Michael says the moon was orange from the sun, which is almost certainly not correct.
I did really well to swallow those words. Did you see that?
You're an idiot, Michael, and I mean that in the nicest and most supportive way possible.
In the nicest way. Honestly, I went up. I would have thought I'd had quite a few rounds at the Goose and Cuckoo, but I hadn't. I went up I turned around, like, it was, and the trouble is, there's so many times I do my everyday life, and I have this soundboard in my ears.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a wowzy. Mm-hmm. That was a wow.
That was a wow.
That was
yowza. Yeah.
That was a wow. That was a that. That was a that. So I had to send it. Can I just quickly say, though, I'm still in incessant rage. How dare he say? So anyway, I will calm.
She's fit to scream. Go ahead and let it out, Emma. Even if you are, in the middle of a... There aren't any cows in the middle of that field, are there?
It seems high value cargo.
I mean, they won't eat you or anything, but they might. If they lay on you, you'd know about it.
They are. I was chased into a stream by a herd once. They are. My life. Okay, I'm going to rethink how much information I'm giving over on the radio right now.
I think you'd better think it out again. All right. Thanks a lot, Emma. 0345 6060 973. Mike says, I've just seen the moon is orange. More lunacy from the Just Stop Oil campaigners. Yeah, I mean, can you talk about a life out of balance? Talk about a twisted way of living. The people that are trying to draw our attention to the destruction of all that we hold dear, they may go to jail. The people that are actually causing the destruction of all that we hold dear, they are going to go to the bank and cash cheques for billions of pounds. The whole world's gone insane. Let's have, see who's been waiting the longest. I'll be totally fair about this. It's Bury St Edmunds. Lena.
Nick.
Listen, I'm referencing the caller who said that you never see anybody looking glum on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Had he witnessed my face before I crashed into the rock and totally totaled the jet ski, and when he would have seen my face when I was charged $3,500 to replace it, he would have seen I'm not a happy person. And incidentally, this happened in Bermuda, right, which is the reinsurance and insurance capital of the world. And the boat that we have hired, who has a jet ski on it, doesn't have any insurance. Because apparently people in Bermuda don't bother. Because my son's in the industry, and he said, well, that would be rather stupid because we hire Harvard-educated lawyers to underwrite our policies, so we all know we're never getting paid out.
And what is it like on a jet ski? Because I haven't been, but I have been in a fast speedboat, and I know that I never want to do that again.
Well, no, it actually is very boring. It really, that was my first and last time, obviously. They wouldn't let me near one again anyway, but it was really boring. And listen, I want to tell you as well that Glasgow's weather is scheduled to rain, 45% chance of rain from 2,300 hours tonight.
Yes, that's right. If it's not raining in Glasgow at the moment, then hang on, it will be soon.
And it's absolutely 5 years that it doesn't rain. It rains all the time.
All the time?
It rains all the time. And it's not even warm, even in the summer. And one other thing, just very, very quickly.
And finally,
I am about to, I think, eat off my own car. I'm so bored already with this election. And it's, I can't. It's either that I buy a chainsaw and just like that.
No, don't do it, Lena. It ain't worth it. It'll be over before you know it. Just take a couple of Valium and you'll get through it, no problem at all. And if you don't have any Valium, then go to your bathroom cabinet. Just have a couple of green ones, or if you haven't got any green ones, then try one of them purple pills. They're great.
Medication cannot make the stop. There's 2 more weeks of it.
Yeah, that is
it's like, and it's like, no, stop it now.
Well, you're going to have to, Lena. There's no other way of getting through it but to get through it. But like I said, just imagine what it must be like for Americans. I mean, their election is in full swing, just as much as ours is. they've got TV debates. I think they're coming right up on it. And it's not till November they get to vote. And it's been going like this for at least a year. They are on permanent campaign in America. It just never stops. The new president, whoever it might be.
A president? Can you believe it?
No, Donnie, we're still stuck. Whoever it might be. They get about 6 months, put their knees under the table, and then they're in campaign mode for the next 4 years or so. It's excruciating. I mean, at least Fishy did us the favour of not stringing this out till the winter, because he could have done that. So we appreciate it, Fishy.
Thank you.
It's the only thing we appreciate so far. the speed of calling the election. Yeah. Thanks very much. Thanks, Lena. 0345 6060 973. Let's see now. Woolwich. Richard.
Woolwich?
Yes, sir.
Nick, hi. Hello. Good evening.
Richard.
Nick, just quickly, if the moon is orange, why is it called strawberry?
Because people pick strawberries around this time.
Oh, I see.
They do it at night, and it illuminates the field, so you can pick strawberries at night with, with the light of the moon.
Oh, okay. So I'll spot that question to
find out.
Nick, what I want to say is, I totally read it was true. The Tories were absolutely right. Johnson, Sunak, they are spot on. There is widespread electoral fraud in this country. It's just that they didn't come and put it on and realise that senior members of the Tory party are actually doing it.
I cannot believe how pathetically small this scandal is. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. £100 supposedly was bet on insider information. At the odds of 5 to 1, they're going to win 500 quid. They probably make that in a day. It's just, I can't believe it. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it is pathetic. Very pathetic. I think you said earlier, it's more of an indication of their kind of brainlessness than anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do something like that, just completely go for it.
Exactly. Call up your mates at the hedge fund and get them to make £100 million bet, and then you can roll around in cash for the rest of your life.
Well, that's the other thing. They did it in their own names. I mean, how absurd is that? I mean, do they feel so, that they're superheroes that somehow they're untouchable?
So detached from the rest of our day-to-day existence that they can do anything they believe.
Luckily there's no traffic. No one saw that.
They are justified in thinking that to a certain extent, because up to now, people have been getting away with anything they probably and they don't live in that world, and the rules don't apply. Hey, Bodge.
Yeah. Wait.
Exactly.
Weird as well. I read today that they're beginning to realise that it's a mistake to run a 6-week election. That your previous bill saying this is boring. And I think it's right, because, I mean, he's doing a lot of raveling. It's a disastrous election for Sunak. And, he's re-empowered the Reform Party. And he's even making Keir Starmer look impressive. I mean, it's absurd.
I don't think it makes Keir Starmer impressive. Keir Starmer's new glasses.
They're great.
He's got his Trust Me glasses on, but it didn't really work on TV, because if the TV camera is slightly above his head, that means that the top of his glasses cover his eyeballs every now and again, which means that he might as well be wearing a mask, because you can't see him. It becomes a bit uncomfortable to look somebody in the eye if you're looking sort of past and around the frames of their glasses. So I think he needs to get those what was that woman's name that was in Heidi High? Sue Pollard. Yeah, he needs to get some Sue Pollard glasses, like really massive. Well, yeah. Exactly. Yes. All right, good work. Thanks, Richard. 0345 6060 973. George says, can I ask you to shout out possibly the best read for summer days on a deck chair with a raincoat and umbrella? The book Perfectly Normal in a Well-Run Country. It's absorbing and That's my latest one. That's 2 mentions in the same hour. Nothing to do with me. And Dan says, I've only been water skiing once in Britain, in Bintan in 2007. Easily the most testicular pain I have experienced in my whole life. I was glad when it was over. Says Dan. I don't know too much information in that, but thanks for that.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC. From Global's newsroom at 11 o'clock, it's being suggested an investigation into a cyber attack at an NHS blood service could take weeks. A helpline's now been set up as officials try to verify whether patients' stolen data has been published online. Security expert Graham Stewart has told LBC most hackers tend to operate in the same way.
The attacker will break into the network, cause some disruption. So in this particular case, if you remember back at the start of it, there was disruption to services. They'll then remove a huge amount of data from the system and that personally identifiable patient information, and then they'll hold that to ransom.
Both Labour and the Conservatives have strongly criticised Nigel Farage for suggesting the West provoked Vladimir Putin into invading Ukraine. During an interview, the Reform leader said Moscow felt threatened because of the ever-eastward expansion of NATO. Tories have called those comments vile. Labour says they're disgraceful. The IDF says there's currently no indication the deaths of 25 people in Gaza today were caused by one of its attacks. It's begun a review after health officials and rescuers in the territory said the group died following an Israeli strike on 10 camps near Rafah. The Israeli journalist Norbert Honopolsky has been telling LBC the figures have come from an interesting source.
This time, the group that announced the deaths is the Palestinian Red Cross, or the Palestinian Red Crescent, not the Hamas Health Ministry, not the Hamas authorities, and it may indicate something about who is in charge in Gaza.
A schoolboy who attacked 2 students and a teacher with hammers at a boarding school in Devon has been convicted of attempted murder. The attack happened last June at Blundell's in Tiverton. In the United States, the Supreme Court has upheld the federal law, making it a crime for people under domestic violence restraining orders to have guns. The ruling will be seen as a victory for President Biden's administration. New research is suggesting a drug designed to lower cholesterol may slow the progression of an eye condition suffered by diabetics. Diabetic retinopathy is one of 5 top causes of blindness known around the world. And in sport, France and the Netherlands have shared a goalless draw at Euro 2024 this evening. The result, paired with a 3-1 defeat to Austria, means Poland are the first team to be knocked out of the tournament. Ukraine beat Slovakia 2-1 earlier today. LBC weather: rain will move eastwards across the country overnight. There'll be clear spells in the west, and there'll be a low of 11 degrees. From Global's newsroom, for LBC, I'm Tim Daly. This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott.
What number are you calling from?
0345 6067 973. George says, it's a mad world would be a good title for the A to Z of 2024. If we do this show in the Christmas period, it's going to be chock-a-block. The stuff that's happened this year already. We're halfway through. Chris says, what time do I have to wake up to see Grant Shapps lose his seat? I'm going to tape. I'm telling you, this is the best idea I've ever had. I'm not going to stay up all night. I'm going to tape it starting at about 3 o'clock, which is when the results start coming in. Because if you stay up all night, you're going to be exhausted by 3. I mean, your elation will be dimmed somewhat by how tired you are. So go to bed really early. Start the tape at 3 o'clock and then just watch the events unfold. And you can zip forward, between the glum looks on your favourite targets. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I cannot think of another time that I've looked forward to an election like I had this one. Let's have Maidstone Rob. Yes, Rob.
I've had my highlight of the entire election campaign watching Question Time when the Prime Minister got booed by Europe. I tell you what, it's absolutely day by day, and the only thing that made it better is that he got his arm handed to him by a young South Asian woman about ETHR who was supported by a middle-class white guy who totally didn't understand the difference between a Sebastian or Alex Soul.
This wasn't the thing last night? Because I don't recognise that.
Yeah, right at the end, the last question, the woman asked him, the young lady asked him about his strategic mistake with Rwanda, and would they take us out of the ETHR?
Yes, I remember that.
And he tried, like, what's the matter? And then Fiona Bruce came back and asked her if that was the question, and she went, no, I wanted to know about the ETHR. And then this white guy goes, you don't understand, it's not a foreign bill, it's an international bill, and we join a club, including Belarus and Russia.
I mean, it's just what's extraordinary is that politicians, and it's not just politicians of many stripes, do tend to, I don't know whether they have some sort of mental panic that they are straying from their learned and approved lines, but they seem to be incapable of saying anything other than...
That's a voice, young man.
Yeah. I still haven't got over that thing that I had a couple of weeks ago, whatever that was, the thing.
It's probably the RSV virus going around.
The what?
The RSV virus. It's an upper respiratory tract one. It makes your throat and your chest sore.
I know, it didn't get sore. I just lost my voice, and it's not been quite there ever since.
Anyway,
you know me, I never complain.
Yeah, but the thing that made it really exciting to me, and I've got my faith in the electorate back, is these were ordinary people who were asking real questions to politicians and making them look stupid.
Well, I don't know, were they, I question that, were they ordinary people? Because at several points during the course of that programme, I thought, where did they get these people from? Some of them don't. It's almost as though they're not part of the human race.
Well, I mean, that old lady who was worried about lazy workers had me a little bit concerned, I'll be honest.
Some of them just looked a bit, I don't know, as though they were extras in a horror film.
Probably because there was a cost of living crisis and they were all living on the express.
Yeah, and tending to their own teeth in a lot of cases.
But I won't say anything about that.
Yeah, no, leave it to me. I'll do it. I know.
2 weeks to go.
I know. Isn't it great? Hoorah! All right, thanks a lot. Cheers, mate. 0345 6060 973. He's never been so HAPPY. Delirious he is. Lead text, what's more outrageous, Nigel Farage endorsing Andrew Tate, or the fact that he has enough time to watch Emmerdale Farm in the first place? I have no idea what that means. Presumably there's somebody called Andrew Tate on Emmerdale Farm. Isn't it called Emmerdale? Don't ask me, I've got no idea. Has anything happened on that show yet?
No.
I mean, at all. Gina emails, try avocado on granary toast with black pepper and chili flakes. Delicious, says Gina. Nah, that doesn't sound like anything at all. I mean, granary toast doesn't really taste very much. Okay, it tastes more than just white sliced. But it's not really a taste sensation, is it? It's the base for something tasty. And avocados, on their own, aren't tasty. It's just bland. I just don't understand this avocado on toast thing. And I really, really don't understand that avocado on toast is part of the war on woke. I mean, this country has lost its mind. But I think somebody had it at the end of, I think it was last weekend, maybe at the end of the Saturday show. Somebody texted in a recipe as follows. Get some toast, get some avocado, and then put some bacon on it and eat. Bacon. And that's good for vegans as well, because bacon is a vegetable. Any fool know that. Let's see now. Chelmsford. Hello, Jordan.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes, good, thanks.
Good. Look, I have listened to you for quite some time, and do you know what? You have actually made me come round to the corner, being far right to somewhere centre and aligning with your views.
My views?
Wow. Yeah, right. You actually calm my blood pressure.
Well, I wouldn't have expected you to say that, but okay, that's good.
But, and I want you to say that because when it comes to reform, I have always been someone that is hugely in favour of mistrials and I like the populist or populism that comes behind that, and the England shirt, that something that I like. But you always align there. But for me, I'm just where I'm struggling to get to is where we are in terms of the current campaign. I voted for Boris in 2019. Rishi's not got a chance. I'm going reform, and you've always been the voice of reason for me. But I just don't know why you wouldn't come over to reform.
You don't know why I wouldn't come over to reform?
Yeah.
Well, why would I?
Which is, and I'm not taking the Michael, and I'm actually being honest with you, because
Okay,
you've
so-
always been the voice of reason.
so we will-
Yeah.
Keep saying that.
So
I didn't believe it the first time.
Thanks for watching.